In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, welcome to our third session of Knowing Islam. Dear students of the online Hausa, I once again greet you in the Islamic way and I tell you Assalaamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's have a short summary of what we said in the last sessions. In the last session we spoke about some necessary qualities of religion, and we came to this point and we spoke about the ways of knowing God. The first of which was the inner way, and we said that in difficulties, even the one who insists on this idea that there is no God would find in his deep parts of his being that there is a superpower who can save him. And we set an example and we brought the argument of Imam al-Reza alayhi salam, and right now we are going to speak about the second way, which is the outer way. The outer way of knowing God is by studying the signs of His presence and power in the world within us and around us. This method of knowing God is based on the principle of cause and effect, meaning that there is no effect without a cause. About the signs of, and we say the signs of nature are the effects of which the ultimate cause is God. Let's have some description about this way. Whenever we see a beautiful building of great splendor and design, we can easily understand that its architect was an expert in his own craft. Similarly, by looking at a car, an airplane, a computer, or any other well-designed product or artifact, we are invariably guided to well-informed and knowledgeable inventors, designers, and manufacturers. And we are also made aware of their skill and learning. Note that in none of these instances is it necessary to actually see the builder, the manufacturer, or the designer of such an artifact with our own eyes to testify to his existence. Moreover, when observing all these things, it is not with any of our external senses that we perceive the knowledge and skill of the builders and manufacturers, but we believe in his expertise and knowledge. Why? Because the design and order which we perceived in the artifacts forces us to recognize the knowledge of their builders, and from this we reach the conclusion that it is not necessary that something whose existence we wish to believe in should be visible or tangible. There are many things which are not perceptible to our external senses, but we become aware of them through their effects. For every wise person understands that there can be no effect without a cause, nothing orderly without a wise and knowledgeable designer. Based on the above, we can divide the things of this world into two categories: the things which are evident to one or more of the five senses, and the second, the things which are not perceived by any of the five senses. These things exist, these existence we can deduce by considering their effects. I mean, the existence of these things which are not perceived by the five senses can be deduced by considering their effects. These facts are not all of one kind. Some are material and some are non-material. Let's have some examples in order to clarify the issue. As an example of an invisible thing, we can mention the electricity, which is not seen by looking at the wire. However, it is known by its effect, which is the light. Or the second example would be the gravity of the earth. The gravity which is invisible, but we come to know its existence by observing its effect, which is falling of the objects onto the earth. As the third example, we can say the mental image. People can construct in their own minds any form that they wish. For example, a tower similar to the Eiffel Tower. Or as the fourth example, we can speak about the life. We want to set an example. For example, imagine a beautiful chicken moving towards the water and falls into a pond, and before we can rescue it, it dies. At this very moment, what change has taken place in the chicken? And what difference has occurred that it no longer moves, plays, or eats? There surely was something in the live chicken, but which does not exist in the dead. That is life. We only perceive the effects of life, movement, feeding, etc. And from these effects, we discover its existence. The facts mentioned above makes it thoroughly clear that over and above the beings that we perceive with our sensory organs, there are also things which we do not directly perceive, but we know about them only through the effects they produce. As the conclusion, thus we draw the conclusion that it is not right for us to reject something which we do not see only because it is not visible, because invisibility is different from non-existence. Moreover, the way of discovering something is not confined to the eyes or external senses. The human mind can discover something by means of the effects of those things, as we saw in the examples mentioned above. We do not wish to say that God is similar to the scientific examples mentioned above, because God is a reality. Above those things, nothing is equal or comparable to Him. But our intention, however, is to say that in the same way as we discover the existence of those things through their effects, we can also discover the existence of God through His signs. Discovering the existence of God through His signs is the outer way of knowing God. The Holy Qur'an says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His holy book has mentioned this argument. Let's recite some of two of the verses of the Holy Quran for you. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. أَفِي اللَّهِ شَكٌّ فَاطِرِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Is there any doubt concerning God, the Creator of the heavens and the earth? This verse is the 10th verse of the chapter Abraham. As a second verse, we come to this verse. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب. Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth and the alteration of the night and the day are signs for those of understanding. And this is the verse 190 of the chapter Al-Imran. Thus, those who deny the existence of God just because they cannot see Him with their eyes are blind as far as their eyes of wisdom and contemplation is concerned. Since we know that His existence can be demonstrated through the precise design and order of creation, the Persian poet says, "Open thy heart's eye for your soul to see, and what is invisible will be manifest to thee." Like every session, in the end, I ask you to all to keep in touch with us and send us your questions, offers, and if there is any criticisms at info@onlinehausa.com. Once again, I want to tell you Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Until next session. Bye-bye.